Good evening, YouTube. How are you this evening? I am pretty good. I'm obviously still in North Little Rock, and it's about 5:45 p.m. And we broke up class about 45 minutes or so ago. I decided to take a walk around the yard for a little bit before I came in for the evening. It's been a busy week, and today is my Friday. Yay! I'm off the next 2 days. Um, it's been a really busy week, kind of hectic. We don't have that big of a class right now. It's started out with 30, and we lost, I think, 2 or 3, and it's been just hectic around here. Um, I'm not planning on going home this weekend unless there's some kind of emergency. And if I did go drive down, I'd have to turn around and come right back. I calculated it would cost me at today's gas price roughly $60 to go home and come back. I wouldn't mind going home, but I'm just not going to. I kind of committed to being available, especially this evening, in case there's any problems with arriving new orientation students. And the new classes coming in, I believe, is 26 or 27. I'm not really sure. I didn't look at the incoming class list before I left for the day. Dr. Pepper, the stuff of life. um, this week, I've continued to learn and picking up stuff and making some observations to my boss about some conflicting things that happen from time to time. Um, Stuff that's getting ironed out. I found out that the training program is constantly in evolution as they tweak and build things. Of course, that's been going on for years that they've been in this facility and they've had the program going the way it is. I think it's a good thing that things are evolving and not constantly static. There have been stuff added to the program, like I've said before, that did not happen when I was in orientation and training. And the stuff that they've added, it seems to have streamlined the learning process. Even now, I think I said this the other day, I'm picking up things that I didn't know before. Of course, I'm refreshing my memory too. Um, and I'm getting a bit more confidence in the training base as I do instruction and guidance on helping these people learn how to build and deal with all the products that we have. And I'm still taking notes on what to do in the classroom. I'm not up to speed totally on every nuance of the stuff, so I'm not going to be doing probably any in-class presentations anytime soon. Probably another week or so. Excuse me. Allergies are kind of acting up. Uh, yeah, until at least another 2 weeks. There's a couple of things I could probably do. Um, the transflow class, I could teach that. I don't think that would be a problem. Um, that's a pretty simple class to teach. Um, I could probably do the Omnitrax presentation as well. I probably wouldn't do it as well as, say, a couple of the other instructors, but I could get the information across and make it understandable at the very least. Um, and probably a couple of other things. I'd like to maybe here next week or on the next class cycle be able to start doing presentations in the classroom and helping cover some of the bases. Um, I got a few good compliments this week. Got a few good constructive comments as well. And there were a couple of things that came to light that people talked to me about that I knew and that would make teaching and instructing easier in the classroom. So I'm taking those kinds of things to heart. I don't want to be too specific about them, simply because I don't want these videos to be too long, especially on this subject. I'm hoping within the next week or so once it stops raining, it seems to rain every day out here. Has for at least since I've come in. It's just I think we had one day that there was no rain, and it was supposed to clear out today and be sunny and nice in the afternoon. But I went walking around the yard after class, and it started to rain on me again. It's been raining on and off all day. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm starting to think this place is gonna float away. Um, I mean, just it's everything in the south is underwater. It's crazy.
No, what I meant to say before I got off on the rain bit was is if it stops raining long enough over the next week or so, I'm gonna start doing a few more training videos. I'd like to do one on how to do 4-foot drops, how to properly fold those quickly and easily. Um, they're relatively easy to fold, but there's a simple and fast method for doing it that I'd like to make a short video on. Maybe no more than 5 or 10 minutes, if that, that shows how to quickly do it. And a couple other videos too, talking about how to do chain ups. I mean, there's only two types of chain ups. There's what we call number ones, and then there's number twos. And number twos are a bit more difficult to get at times, and that really has to do just with the way they are and the best way to get them secured. So those kind of videos and a few others are some of the ones that I'm hoping to make over the next coming weeks.
Um, there are other things going on too. Yesterday, got a call from my wife. Apparently, her Yorkshire Terrier got a little rambunctious and jumped out of her arms to guess go play with the cat. I'm not sure what the whole story was, but she fell and dislocated her hip, and we had to rush her to the vet and then to the animal hospital. And I spent about $500 I really didn't have um, on getting her some treatment. And then today, uh, I talked to the veterinary surgeon about the options for her, and it's not really all that great. She's an older dog. I rescued her. She's a little, rat dog, little Yorkshire Terrier, and she's cute and loving and everything else. But she's had a hard life. She was abused in her previous home or homes. It looks like she may have had two. The first one where she was abused. The second one where she was taken in but wasn't kept because of her problems, and taking her to the vet this time. Of course, they did a full workup with X-rays and even more blood work than she did before, and she's has a history of a lot of injuries, and it's kind of sad. Uh, so right now, after consulting with the surgeon, we're not going to opt for surgery. We're going to opt for a pain management program and try to allow her hip to naturally heal. I mean, it's partially dislocated, and so is her knee. But the knee dislocation is a chronic thing we already kind of knew about, and she's got really bad arthritis. So by putting her on a pain management regimen and putting her on a pain pill and some arthritis medication that's formulated for canines, see how she does over the next couple weeks or maybe a month until I can get some more money. If she is able to recover to the point that she can move around on her own without too much difficulty, providing she's being watched, then we'll probably not get the surgery considering her age. She's 9, and because she's at high risk for the surgery, um, even though the doctor at the vet hospital that we go to is really really good because of her size and her age and her liver problems and a few other problems that she has that's inherent. Oops, sorry about that. Inherent to Yorkshire Terriers. Uh, the surgery is not a recommended option at this point, so we're just kind of play it by ear. I know that whole thing came out of the blue, but it's something that's made my week hard, especially yesterday. I really didn't get a lot of sleep last night because I was up really late, and felt kind of frustrated because I'm here in Little Rock, and for that kind of thing I should be home. But I guess that's really the life of a truck driver. And for those of you that are thinking about getting into this industry and have been watching these videos to try to get an idea of what's really going on out here, like so many people do, that's something you got to be able to be prepared to deal with. She called me at I think it was 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and kind of not really panicked, but it was panicked calls and texts saying, Pumpkin's hurt, please call, And I did. I mean, take her to the hospital, spend money we didn't have, and of course I couldn't be there to support my wife or my son, you know, who was probably understandably upset over the fact that she was injured, and um, or my other son who most animals don't like, or at least not too much, and has fallen for Pumpkin because Pumpkin has actually taken a liking to him, excuse me, and I bet he was understandably worried about it. So that's, like I said, that's something you got to prepare yourself for being away and not being able to get home immediately to handle situations that can come up that would require your home time attention, and you got to handle all that stuff on a cell phone, and talk. I must have made 20 or 5 or 30 phone calls over the course of 4 or 5 hours between me and my wife, me and my son, talking to my mother who has had Yorkies for the last 20 years or so, and she knows about all their nuances and quirks and things like that, and getting advice from her, and then talking to the two veterinary surgeons and the veterinary doctor who dealt with Pumpkin, of course, and all the aides, and then calling the bank and trying to get some financing to see if maybe we could afford the surgery. Unfortunately, I've got too many outstanding. I got too much. I actually have too much credit at this point, so no one's going to give me any more. And it's not that I have a bunch of credit card debt, but I have car payments and all that kind of stuff, and it's just real bogged down. So no one wants to give me any more credit to be able to pay for something like that. And so at this point, that comes out to about $1,600 for everything that's more that I will have to spend if she ends up having that surgery, and that's something I'm going to have to think about discussing with my wife whether we want to go that way or maybe help Pumpkin, um, you know, end her life of suffering in some kind of humane way because she, like I said, she was heavily abused as a puppy and as a young dog, and it's taken a toll on her. For example, if you're not careful, you say her name and you don't say it in a certain kind of way, she will roll over and hit the deck and play surrender dog. You know, like just say her name and look at her, and she'll hit the deck and surrender because she's just terrified she's going to get hurt. So um, that's just one of the things you got to deal with. There's lots of other situations like that if you come on the road as a truck driver, you're going to have to deal with, and be able to handle. So think about it. This is a great industry that you can make a lot of money doing this job, but it's a hard job and it's a hard life, especially when there's problems. And that's just a dog. Imagine being away and not being able to get back instantly if someone in your family is hurt. If you'll reflect back to my messages, my vlogs earlier from when my uncle died, we were really really close. I was not able to go to the funeral. I was not able to be there to support, help support my aunt and things like that. And she understood. My whole family understood. I was nearly 1,000 miles away and just couldn't get back. So overall, other than that blurb right there, that bit about the dog, it was a really good week, and I'm going to have a good weekend. I'm going to try and have a good weekend here alone. Be here this evening for new incoming orientation students, and tomorrow I plan on kicking back and relaxing. Same thing on Monday. Play my PlayStation, which is over there. Watch a little TV. I got some movies and stuff. Maybe go out to dinner and have a good time. But I will probably end up drifting back over to the training center sometime this weekend and sitting in on a couple of lectures to see how things are going, just to keep my hand in. So that's it. I hope you've had a good week, and I'm hoping that my upcoming days off and when I talk to you again will have been good. So until the next time we speak, keep the shiny side up, 73s. I'll talk to you later.